There's no denying that World of Warcraft has become an intercontinental phenomenon. With 8 million subscribers, its user base is the same size as the entire population of Austria and shows no signs of shrinkage. Considering players wait for patches like they're the Second Coming, the first proper expansion, the Burning Crusade, could cut into our country's economy. Is it worth the $40, or is this crusade destined to burn? An ominous dark portal sits, beckoning. It offers transport to a brand new continent, the Outland, where experienced players can now reach level 70. Here sit 7 massive areas, all with their own motifs, monsters, and missions. Some areas echo other areas of Azeroth, but each puts in enough effort with unique geometry and animation that the local flora and fauna are still pretty diverse. Various towers and keeps dot the map for the first time, and can be won by either the Alliance or the Horde through player versus player combat. The rules vary for each realm, but control will lend a bonus to all conquering players in the area, regardless of participation levels. The Outland also features a host of cities and instances, and with 7 areas spilling over roughly 10 experience levels of content, it all means a huge playground filled with enough quests, gold, and gear to make an undead priest turn pale. And for those who want to live the glory days all over again, Blizzard has applied 2 new races, the Draenei and the Blood Elves. The Draenei are blue-hued, trans-dimensional beings in touch with nature and allied with the Alliance. As part of the Horde, the Blood Elves are driven by a need to master the arcane arts and aren't exactly kissing cousins with the Alliance's Night Elves. The 2 new races mark the first time that Paladins and Shamans can be played by the opposing faction. There's also 2 unique areas for each, along with capital cities and their mounts. As far as expansion packs go, the Burning Crusade is bursting with content. Rarely will you get this much playtime out of something that costs so little. Make no mistake, there are still a lot of those quests where you have to go out and kill 15 of those worm things from Tremors. But the caliber, for the most part, is very high. It's also very fulfilling, with quest rewards that will be replacing your current wardrobe immediately, and drops that make some of old Azeroth's rewards seem not worth the effort. The player versus player areas can be great fun as long as both sides are into it. Unlike the player arenas of the past that required participation, sometimes the other side simply doesn't want to play. The areas for the new races number into the upper teens, but once you hit level 20, your Blood Elf Paladin will be experiencing the same content for the next 40 levels. If you're thinking about diving into the World of Warcraft pool, stay in the shallows and start with the original. While the new races are great, the lack of new classes, which really build the bulk of the WoW experience, stings a bit. Turns out, an Alliance Shaman plays pretty much like any other Shaman. Jewel crafting is the new trade profession, allowing players to use mined ores to make simple trinkets, and eventually, powerful gems to customize high-end gear. This has led to some interesting economic issues, with low-end minerals fetching insane prices at the auction house as new jewel crafters try to level up. You'll feel like a Wild West prospector as you try to claim mines. Burning Crusade's gameplay is a lot more of the same, but Blizzard has fortified the formula with great new quests and spruced up areas. The new characters get hours of novel challenges before hitting repeats, and the inclusion of jewel crafting and its ties to upper-level gear helps link the new characters and zones with the Outland. Blizzard continues its tradition of refining excellence, with an expansion that does more than just expand the tried and true, and not to mention profitable, aspects of the game. With new races and their respective areas, flying mounts, jewel crafting, and persistent player versus player maps, the Burning Crusade ends up being more than just a mega patch, and justifies the cost well beyond the hope of a glacial grind to the next level cap.